All right, Merry Christmas to you and your families. And the Spurs just dog walked the Thunder again. This one didn't feel as good as the first two. I'm just kidding. It felt fucking awesome. It feels better and better every single time. About halfway through this one, even the second game, I was thinking we're just better than the Thunder. If we match up against the Thunder in the playoffs, I'm not saying we're 100% gonna beat the Thunder, or it wouldn't be a great series, and we're just gonna dog walk the Thunder, but we're just a horrible matchup for the OKC Thunder, and OKC doesn't really want to see the Spurs in the playoffs. If y'all remember, I want to say it was 2011 when the Spurs were the number one seed, and we played the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies beat us in like 5 or 6 games. I want to say Memphis was just a horrible matchup for San Antonio at that time. If y'all remember, this was years back when the Warriors were the 8th seed with Baron Davis and Steven Jackson and the boys, and they knocked out the Mavericks in the number one seed. Just bad matchups, and the Spurs just a really bad matchup for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Victor Wembanyama is just Chet Holmgren's daddy, to be honest. People say Chet is scared of Wemby. I've been hearing that. I don't think Chet's scared of Wemby. Chet's an excellent player. If Chet and Wemby played on the same team, it'd be amazing to watch. It would just be a destruction factory. It would just be volleyball at the rim. They'd just be swatting the shit out of everybody. I don't think Chet's scared. Chet's not scared of Wemby, in my opinion, but Wemby's just a better player. Wemby should be getting compared to Jokic and the other MVP candidates. And then, I don't know why people did this. They just made Chet and Wemby a thing, like they're rivals, and I guess they are. Wemby doesn't like Chet. I don't think he doesn't like Chet. He just doesn't like the fact that people try to compare him and Chet when it's just not even a thing. But Wemby dominates Chet again. SGA after the game, if y'all saw the SGA interview, if y'all got a chance to see it, it was really cool. I thought SGA pretty much said all the right things. He was bummed out, of course. It's not cool to lose on Christmas Day, but SGA said, you don't play a team 3 times in 2 weeks, lose all the games to that team, and be better than that team. He basically said the Spurs are better than us. That's what SJ basically said. Hey, the Spurs are better than us right now. We have this much time to get to the playoffs, but SJ said right here, right now, the Spurs are better than the Thunder. And his quote was, you don't lose to a team 3 times in a 2 week span without that team being better than you. And that's totally true in my opinion. Again, the playoffs haven't started. I've heard Thunder fans saying, oh, the playoffs is a whole nother beast. Like, whatever. Y'all didn't even watch the games. It was super physical. This was playoff style basketball. And Thunder fans should never be telling Spurs fans about what the playoffs are about. That just makes no sense because the Spurs know about the playoffs. I don't have to reiterate too much on that. But here's our lead tracker. Baby Blue is OKC. I won't spend too much time on it, but OKC in the first quarter right here, they had a shot. They had a lead of, their biggest lead was 8 points. They had a lead in the first quarter. All this black is just the Spurs, and the Spurs just pretty much just mollywopped them for the rest of the game. OKC, they cut the game right there. They cut it back to 8 points right there in the fourth quarter, and the Spurs were pretty much just stiff arming them the whole time and just keeping them at bay. We'll get to the team stats right now. Well, I did make another video. Please like and subscribe if you watch my channel. I made another video about Lou Dort. He had a dirty ass play on Wembanyama. If y'all didn't see it, definitely check out that video. Lou Dort tries to sweep Wembanyama's leg. He does all sorts of dirty stuff, and NBA needs to do something about that because just check out the video. It was a dirty ass play by Lou Dort. But Spurs won by 15 points. It felt like we won by 50 points, to be honest. It was just obvious the Spurs were the better team. Pretty much even 49 to 48 rebounds, 20 assists to 23 assists. That's about even. OKC has 7 steals. We have 3. They beat us on the steals. They have 6 blocks. We have 4 blocks. They beat us there. They have 7 turnovers. We have 12 turnovers. You're probably thinking, you just hear these numbers, other than the points, you'd probably think OKC probably won the game. Looks like things were good for OKC. But our defense just matches up so well against them. We make things so hard. Oklahoma City, they're a horrible half-court offense. It's just SJ or die, and SJ is an amazing player, and he produces historic half-court offense just on his own. He's a historic, just an all-time level guard. His efficiency is ridiculous. We'll get to his stats in a second. He didn't have the greatest game by his standards. But what happened once we get to the next stat? OKC shot fucking 39% from the field. That is horrible. I can't think of the last time that I've seen a team shoot under 40% from the field. We just absolutely clamped them. Spurs shoot 54% from the field. OKC's 25% from three. San Antonio's 38% from three. Spurs are 76% from three free throw line. OKC's 68% from the free throw line. So Spurs just out executed them at everything. Both teams had pretty similar strategies defensively. If Wemby gets the ball, OKC just swarms him with the guards, makes him pass the ball out, and makes us shoot threes with our other role players. Same thing with SGA. If SGA catches the ball, we just swarm him. We send a defender. We might send a defender from the corner. We might send a defender from the top. We might send a guy from down low. We're sending our double teams from all different kinds of angles, so SGA doesn't just get used to one look as far as where he's getting double teamed from, because if he gets used to that, he'll just start picking the defense apart. And we just threw all sorts of different looks at SGA, just swarming him, made him pass the ball out to dirty Lu Dort and Alex Caruso. Caruso's pretty dirty as well. I don't have anything to say about him. Again, watch my Lu Dort video. He leg swept Wemby, and it was so dirty. But yeah, Caruso couldn't make shit. Lu Dort couldn't make anything. Isaiah Hartenstein made his little push shot a couple of times. J-Dub felt like he wasn't even in the game. He was not a factor at all. Chet Holmgren. They just had a terrible game as a team, and the Spurs defense was the reason they had a horrible game. If OKC plays a team and that team shoots 39% against OKC, no one's going to be saying, or OKC's not going to be saying, oh, they just had an off shooting night. They're going to be saying it was our defense. Our defense is the reason they had an off shooting night, and the Spurs defense is the reason that OKC's been off, these past 3 games the Spurs played them. Last game, SGA had an awesome game. He had 33 points, I believe 33 on like 60% from the field. He was really efficient. We'll get to his stats in this game in a second, but he was not nearly as efficient. And someone told me the other day, they said if you take SGA off OKC, they're like a play-in team. I was like, I think it's a little dramatic. That's a little too much, but I don't think he was that far off, to be honest. If their defense isn't forcing turnovers and not getting out in transition, and SGA does a lot to help lead the break in transition as well, but that's a real thing. If they're not creating turnovers and getting out in transition, their half-court offense is butt cheeks. It's all SGA, and then once he gets swarmed, he's kicking out to these three-point shooters, and Caruso and Dort are just bricking everything. All their three-point shooters just shot really poorly. The Spurs stayed true on Isaiah Joe to make sure Joe's not getting a lot of open looks because he's an elite shooter. They tried to stay on Case and Wallace as well and just say, all right, Lu Dort, Alex Caruso, y'all shoot your heart out from three-point line and we'll just live with the results. And it ended up in OKC shooting 25% from three. Another quick point, I think OKC might kind of consider the Giannis trade at this point, because if I'm OKC and I can get rid of, I don't know, Lu Dort, I'd probably want to keep at least Dort or Caruso, but if I can trade like one of those dudes and some first-round draft picks, and I don't know, Hartenstein, they have to trade a lot to get Giannis, especially after this game. If they call the Bucks right now, the Bucks know they have a good amount of leverage with the situation the Thunder is in right now. They're not desperate by any means, of course. They're still an excellent team. I'm not going to hate on the Thunder too much. I'll hate on them in good fun, but they're an excellent team, just being honest. But if I was an OKC fan, I don't want to see the Spurs in the playoffs, and I'd be thinking we probably should get Giannis if they can. I mean, it's easy to say after this game, but anyway, Spurs have 52 points in the paint. OKC has 46. We beat them there. OKC beat us on second chance points. Watching the game, it felt like it as well. They were getting a lot of offensive rebounds. We'll get to that stat in a second, but they beat us there. We beat them in fast break points. It was glaringly obvious. We had 17, they had 7. We just weren't turning the ball over that crazy. We did have the 12 turnovers. They had 7, but when we were turning them over, we were doing a much better job turning those turnovers into fast break points. And when we were turning the ball over, we were doing a great job getting back in transition. I have to give a lot of credit to Mitch Johnson. Mitch Johnson's been doing an amazing job coaching the Spurs so far. Moving on though, I'll start with OKC real quick. SGA, we almost broke his 20-point streak. If we broke his 20-point streak, that would have been awesome. But he's 7 for 19. He takes 19 shots to score 22 points. He's 37% from the field, zero turnovers. SGA is an amazing offensive player. I don't know how many minutes he had the ball in his hand, but he had the ball in his hands a whole lot. He just does not turn over the ball, and SGA is just a great player. He flops and he foul baits a lot, so if you say he doesn't flop and foul bait, you're just lying to yourself. But if you say he flops and he foul baits, therefore he's a trash player, you're just lying to yourself as well, because he's an amazing offensive player. Lu Dort's a piece of trash. He's a dirty ass player. He takes 8 shots for 8 points, and we hate him. J-Dub, like I said again, it's like he wasn't even playing. He has 12 points on 13 shots. It's horrible. Victor Wembanyama's Chet Holmgren's daddy. I don't actually hate Chet Holmgren. I don't think Wemby actually hates Chet Holmgren. Chet seems like a cool dude, to be honest, but again, Wemby just hates the fact that people are trying to make it out to be like a rivalry when it's just not. They're just both 7 feet tall and skinny. And then Wemby's not even that skinny anymore. He's put on a lot of weight. It was kind of a comp their rookie year, but it's just not even. It's just a joke at this point. Chet is not anywhere close to Wemby. People should just stop even talking about that. But Chet Holmgren, he had 12 rebounds and 10 points. So I mean, it's whatever. Isaiah Hartenstein, he had 13 points. Hit a bunch of his little teardrop shot that he likes to get to. Cason Wallace, he's always great defensively. He's just a great on-ball defender, but he has 5 points on 1 for 7. Just everyone was just getting clamped out there, dude. Caruso has 12 points on 13 shots, absolute ass. Kenrich Williams, he's 2 for 4 from 3. He was the best player out there for them. Not really, but he's not good either. Just going across everything. Again, they shot 39% from the field as a team. SGA had no help, and SGA didn't have a good game either. I mean, he's 37% from the field, but, he's going against an elite defense, and, when you're the number one scoring option, a guy like SGA, you're going to get your 20 shots up, and they had no other option. Like SGA, he has to shoot the ball. He still got up 22 points on horrible efficiency, but just an absolute terrible game for the Thunder that they want to forget about. But Thunder fans make it out to be like, this is one thing that I thought was so funny. The Spurs won the first game in Las Vegas. The Thunder fans, that's a fluke, whatever. Spurs won again in San Antonio. Thunder fans said, we'll never lose at home. Y'all just got lucky again, whatever. Spurs win again, or actually after the Spurs beat them in San Antonio, OKC said, no way, we'll never lose 3 games in a row to the same team. Come out and mollywop them again. All 3 times we beat them in a pretty similar fashion, just a really dominant fashion. And as a Spurs fan, if the Thunder beat us in a game, the first thing I would do is give the Thunder credit. I'd say, Thunder are a great team. They're the defending champion. They're an awesome team. I'd give them credit, first things first. Then I'd go into the Spurs stats and I'd go over the things the Spurs did wrong to lose that game. If you're a Thunder fan watching this, you're probably a cool person. Not all Thunder fans are terrible, but the people you see on the internet, they're just saying, Spurs got lucky. Y'all are so lucky. Our 3-point shooters weren't hitting, and y'all are lucky with this and that. I mean, Devin Vassell is 1 for 6. Champagne's 0 for 3. He has 0 points. Keldon Johnson's 4 for 7 for 9 points. So it's not like all the Spurs had an excellent night. A lot of our shooters were off as well. And like the Thunder always say, if we have a bad shooting night, we can just fall back on our excellent defense. Spurs were 54% from the field. They were 38% from 3. So Spurs were pretty much on fire shooting-wise. But even if we weren't, we could fall back on our defense. And it's a fact, the Spurs defense, I don't know the exact numbers, but the Spurs defensive rating with Wembanyama on the court is better than the Thunder's defensive rating. So when Wemby is on the court, the Spurs are a better defense than the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that's backed by the defensive rating. That's just a fact. Moving on to the Spurs, though, De'Aaron Fox, I love De'Aaron Fox. He was a bit off last game. He comes back, and De'Aaron Fox is the difference between. He's not the whole difference. We picked up Luke Cornett, Stephon Castle developed. We add in Dylan Harper, Vassell, Keldon Johnson, switch their roles. Wemby takes the leap as well. But De'Aaron Fox, he's the difference between us being able to win a playoff series and not win a playoff series. when we run into defense like this, like the Thunder defense, they're the best defense in the NBA. De'Aaron Fox gives them 29 points on 63% shooting. You just can't guard De'Aaron Fox. His shots are going to go in or they're not going to go in. He's too fast and shifty for anybody to stay in front of him and actually, really affect his game. He's going to do what he wants. I forgot what he scored last game. He had an off game last game, but his shots just weren't really going down too much. Then he didn't take that many shots. He does a great job feeling out the game early. Last game he decided all of my teammates are on fire. Keldon Johnson was doing great. Devin Vassell had a great game last game as well. So when he knows his other teammates are having a good game, he doesn't have to do too much. Then he'll have 9 assists like he did last game. He'll distribute the ball. Last game, he was getting 2 feet in the paint and just spraying it out for open 3 balls. So he just has a good feel for the game. This game, De'Aaron Fox decided, I need to score some points. He scored like 12 or 14 points in the first quarter. He was just absolutely on fire. But Fox finishes with 29 points, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, only 1 turnover. Just an awesome game. De'Aaron Fox is a pretty low turnover player as well. Stephon Castle can be pretty high turnover. He's very turnover prone right now. That's fair to say. So it's cool to see when Stephon Castle is getting a little turnover prone, he has another guy, kind of a pressure release valve he can give the ball to. And then Stephon Castle plays great off ball as well. So if Castle's running the offense, he can do a pretty good job of that. He's still getting better at that. Or if he's playing off ball with De'Aaron Fox, he can be really effective either way. Speaking of Castle, in the fourth quarter, I was saying we just need to sit Castle down for a second. He's like too excited. I'm sure y'all remember if y'all watched the whole game. It was 3 plays in a row. He's on the right side of the court. He throws 2 passes. One was to, I think, Vassell. One was to Harrison Barnes, but just throws a cross-court pass. One was too high. One was too far to the left. They both go out of bounds. I don't know if he got ripped, but he had another turnover in the fourth quarter. So 3 of his 4 turnovers came in the fourth quarter. And Castle is still learning, but pretty much every time he throws a cross-court pass, I just have my fingers crossed, please don't let that be a turnover, because if y'all have noticed, the bulk of his turnovers that I noticed, they come when he's throwing those cross-court passes. The 2 turnovers he had this game in the fourth quarter on those cross-court passes, it wasn't because it was the wrong read. The pass was just off target. So it comes down to him just getting better velocity, better accuracy on those passes, because when you're passing cross court to the corner, you have to throw a fastball. You have to put some heat on it. So by the time the ball gets to your shooter, they actually have some time to shoot instead of letting the defense recover. So those 2, it wasn't so much that Castle made the wrong read on those. He just didn't. The pass just wasn't on target on those 2. But there have been multiple times where I'll see Castle make the wrong read across the season and then just throw that cross-court pass, and he ends up turning it over. But he's still averaging, I want to say 18 points and 7 assists on the season. Castle's just been amazing for us, and kind of like Keldon's been awesome this season, but with Keldon, with Castle, you just have to take the good with the bad. Castle's he's a second-year player. He's obviously still growing as a player, so excuse me, we just have to take the turnovers when they come and just let him keep growing. It's better to have the turnovers now than to have them during the playoffs. But Castle has an amazing game. He has 19 points, 72% from the field. His efficiency is like a big man out there. He's over 50% from the field so far in the season, and it's just amazing. He's 8 for 11. 2 of his misses are from 3, so only 1 miss was outside or inside of the 3-point line. And I think last game, Castle, he missed 3 threes. Most of the misses he has are from 3. When he's inside the paint, he has just such crazy finishes at the rim, and he's so smart with his shot selection. Doesn't have a great mid-range jumper yet. He's still working on it. I saw him knock down 1 this game in the corner, I believe. He had a little step back mid-range on SGA, I think it was. But Castle just amazing. We all love Castle so much in San Antonio. But he has the 19 points and 7 assists. I think that's about his season average. And he does have the 4 turnovers. So, I mean, the turnovers hurt, but we just have to let Castle just keep learning. Playing next to De'Aaron Fox is awesome for him. He got a lot of knowledge from Chris Paul last season. Now he's playing next to just the guard that's kind of more similar to what Stephon Castle is, just a really fast athletic guard that can get 2 feet in the paint and play make. So De'Aaron Fox is an awesome player to help coach Stephon Castle up more and more. Harrison Barnes, he had a cool game. He bounced back from last game. He's 15 points. He knocks down 3 of his 7 threes, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. He wasn't bullying Chet Holmgren like he did last game, but it's all good. Harrison had a good game for us. Devin Vassell has an off game. He has an off game. Just like the Thunder fans were saying, I saw Thunder fans saying, "Oh, y'all got so lucky. Caruso was off and Lou Dort was off from 3, but Vassell is 1 for 5 from 3. Champagne's 0 for 3." I mean, the Spurs, they're just a better team right now in the season. It just is what it is. May change before playoff time, but right here, right now, the Spurs are just the better team. But yeah, Vassell has 5 points on 6 shots. It's horrible. He's 1 for 5 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He has 0 turnovers, so the zero turnovers is good, but just an off game for Devin Vassell, and it's all good. We don't need him to be on every single game. I always say Harrison Barnes, Vassell, Champagnie, Keldon Johnson, one of those 4 guys, 2 of those 4 guys might have an off game every 3 or 4 games, but 2 or 3 of them are always going to have an on game every 3 or 4 games. And if that makes sense, it's not like all 4 guys are going to be off on the same night. If 2 guys are off, 2 guys are probably on. If 1 guy's off, 3 guys are probably on. We just have so much depth across our team. If 1 guy's off, we always have other guys to pick up the slack. We run like 10 deep. I mean, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We had 9 players playing this game, 9 different players. Some of them came in garbage time with or actually we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We had 14 players play against the Thunder, and it was garbage time in the last 2 minutes. So, most teams are probably going 8 or 9 deep and just trying their hardest to beat the Thunder, which we did try our hardest to beat them, but we still played 14 different players. And even if we're playing our tight rotation, it's still probably 10 or 11 guys deep. So our depth is amazing. We love Luke Cornett. He has 6 points and 4 rebounds this game. He does have the 1 block. He played 21 minutes. He didn't do anything crazy out there, but his size is great for us. He does a great job just being in the right place. Doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but it'll just be in the right place at the right time where Chet Holmgren and Hartenstein can't cut to the rim and get these easy lob opportunities. Victor Wembanyama he's just the whole NBA's daddy, to be honest, but Wemby has an awesome game, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He does have the 3 turnovers. I think he made the point himself. He was saying, I made the point several times as well. He was saying he'll get a bit out of control at times, and that's where I noticed Wemby does have the turnovers. Let me know if y'all see the same thing. It's usually when he catches the ball beyond the 3-point line and he pump fakes somebody or he shakes him up off the dribble. And he does a good job getting past that first defender. Then he gets the second line of defense and he's trying to make a read and somebody will rip him. Maybe he tries to kick it out to the corner and his pass will get intercepted. He's just kind of learning how to be a point guard more, I guess. I'd like to see him be more like an offensive hub and have us use him more like Denver uses Joker. Wemby's not the same player, obviously. Joker's just a god. He's the best player in the NBA right now. He had like 56 points, 15 assists, and 15 rebounds in his Christmas Day game. So Joker's a god. I'd like to see Wemby get more of his playmaking, catching the ball at the top of the key, catching the ball at the elbow, maybe even catch it at the top of the arc, but don't dribble. Just have the players kind of run off-ball motion around you and see if you can get more assists and create more offense that way. Denver's entire offense is drawn around Joker, so it's designed that way where our offense isn't so much drawn up around Wemby. We have Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox to kind of create off the dribble. So we use Wemby way differently than the Nuggets use Jokic, of course, but I have noticed that, if y'all notice that too, it's usually when Wemby's beyond the 3-point line, he'll use his ball handles, and they have gotten better. He'll beat that first man, Then he gets to the second line of defense, and a lot of the time he'll make a bad decision or get ripped. That's just what I've noticed when he's handling the ball out beyond the 3-point line. But has a great game. He's up to 25 minutes, about 26. I've noticed he's going up maybe 30 seconds or 1 minute every game. So next game he probably plays the 26, then 27, 28. Mitch Johnson already mentioned once he's playing 30 minutes a game, he'll probably be starting again once he can give us 30 minutes. So I love what the Spurs are doing with Wemby. All the rest of our players are just getting more and more chemistry together. Wemby's getting to play some minutes to kind of build chemistry with those guys as well. But it's just great for our young players. And, Wemby's doing all sorts of, he's still doing like rehab stuff for his calf. They still have him doing calf exercises and just strengthening the muscle even more. So he's just going to be stronger than ever once he gets back to his full minutes. And I just love how we're just babying him along with his injury recovery. Wemby's already said he just puts all his faith in the medical staff, and so do I. I always have as a Spurs fan, and we've been awesome with and without Wemby, and I'm just so happy to be a Spurs fan. Dylan Harper, he plays 20 minutes. He has 12 points. He's 5 for 8. He shoots 62% from the field. He would have been 5 for 7, but he misses 1 3. 2 assists, 3 rebounds, only the 1 turnover. Dylan Harper's a freaking superstar in the making. All the Spurs fans know that. I've heard non-Spurs fans saying the same thing. If Dylan Harper was playing, if he was in a starting role on another team, Dylan Harper, he's like 20 points and 7 assists right now. I swear he is, on probably like 45 to 50% from the field. He's really efficient. He's so smart with the ball. And again, I swear he's like 20 points and 7 assists if he was playing 34, 35 minutes. But Harper's in the right place. He loves being in San Antonio. I think he's really happy to be on a championship contending team as a rookie. Dylan Harper is a winner. Ron Harper, his father, is obviously a winner. And Dylan Harper's just not scared of anybody. And why should he be? He probably sees Michael Jordan and just goes up and gives him a hug. I'm sure him and Jordan are cool. His dad's a freaking 6-time NBA champion that knows everything about just winning, being in a winning culture and doing the right things day in and day out. And Dylan Harper is he's just been bred to be a winning NBA basketball player, and we just love Dylan so much in San Antonio. We talked about Champagnie for a second. He has 0 points. He's 0 for 3. And it's all good, bro. I think he's been off the past 2 or 3 games. So next game, Champagnie's going to make like 4 or 5 threes. You can just book it because, again, like I said before, Champagnie, Vassell, Harrison Barnes, whoever, one of those guys might have a 2 or 3 game cold streak. But by the time their cold streak's over, we'll have another player that's hot that can fill in for them. And we're just going to pick up the slack as a team for everybody. And that's just what great teams do. Keldon Johnson's my dog. He has 9 points, 4 for 7, 7 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds, no turnovers, and just great decision making. I've said it a bunch of times. I love Keldon in his new role. He's embraced his new role. He leads the huddle at the beginning of the team, at the beginning of the game. He's our heart and soul, and he just comes in off the bench. He's just a freaking demon out there. He just gets all these offensive rebounds. He crashes the glass on every single shot. He bullies guys. He elbowed Chet Holmgren in the face last game, and I loved it. Keldon's not scared of anybody, and he just brings such great energy to the team. Spurs mollywop the Thunder again. San Antonio Spurs are the better team than the Oklahoma City Thunder right now. If you're a Thunder fan and you don't think so, then watch SGA's interview from the Christmas Day game, and SGA says himself the Spurs are a better team than OKC right now. I'm interested to see if OKC pursues possibly going for the Giannis trade, but San Antonio is going to stand pat. If we could add like a strong physical power forward to play next to Victor Wembanyama that can maybe knock down the 3 ball a little bit. Like if the Spurs had Julius Randle playing with Wemby, that would be insane. If the Spurs could add like a Trey Murphy III, I've heard that Michael Porter Jr. could possibly be on the market as well. Michael Porter Jr., Trey Murphy III. If the Spurs added one of those players, the Spurs would be so set. We're already set to compete for a championship this year, But if we added, again, just like a strong physical power forward, or, a floor spacing small forward that's like 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", like a Trey Murphy the third or a Michael Porter Jr., we'd just be so freaking set. That would complete our entire team. I already think we're seriously ready to compete and make a playoff push. Playoff experience is real, and we would lack the playoff experience. So we'll see how that looks once we get there. But Spurs are the real deal, man. We beat the Thunder 3 times in 2 weeks, and we're here, and we're ready to go for a deep playoff push, and we'll see what happens once we get there. But please like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 7 million subscribers. Let me know what you thought about the game. Please comment below. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.